What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to the channel. It's your boy Young Kurd back with another banger. Hit that like, sub button for me, comment, all that. So a lot of people were saying when I was reacting to my regular videos, when I was doing like watching NBA highlights and talking about the games, they didn't get a lot of out of it because they were trying to watch the game and watch the highlights, and a lot of these people didn't watch the game and they'd rather me just do a recap of the whole night. So that's what we're getting today. So basically how this is going to work, I'm going to go game by game by game. There was 10 games last night. I missed 2. So I'm going to tell you what I got out of each game. You guys tell me in the comments what you think, and we're just going to talk NBA, and that's just how it's going to be. So first we got Nets Wizards. Kyrie's best game back. I think he had 39 last night. Uh, the only question I have for this Nets team is will he keep him afloat while Kevin Durant's out? I noticed a lot of the time yesterday that the ball was sticking in Kyrie's hand. So if Kyrie has an off night, I feel like the inability for other players to score, like Blake Griffin's been pretty horrible this year. So that's something that concerns me. I mean, Patty Mills has definitely been a great addition to them. He's been balling. And then on the Wizards side, Kuzma is really emerging into a superstar. I was completely wrong about everything I said about him last year. The last 5 games, he's had over 15 rebounds. Last night, he had 22 and 12. This last game, he didn't have over 15 rebounds, but you get what I'm saying. So yeah, that my only question is if the Kyrie can keep the Nets afloat because Harden and Durant were out last night. Harden should be returning pretty soon, but that's just my concern for the Nets. Then we take it over to the 76ers Magic. Embiid, everybody, like, last night was probably the craziest night of basketball I've ever seen in my whole entire life. I watched this full game. Embiid had 50 points. I think he had like 22 in the first quarter. And then Mo Bamba is like really, I think the Magic are trying to like stray away from Mo Bamba and just like develop their younger guys first. I know he's still young, but like their rookies first. And I think honestly with Mo Bamba, what they're gonna do is try to trade him for somebody else. So, or like go under the luxury tax and not re-sign him for his 3rd year. So I think Mo Bamba um, went crazy last night, had 32 points, but I don't think he's going to stay on the team. My only question when I was watching this game is one of the notes that I wrote down is are the 76ers legit come playoff time, and what is up with Ben Simmons? So I don't think the Sixers are legit come playoff times. Every year they've been a regular season team. So to me, it's difficult for me to believe that they are legit. Then we go to Hornets, Celtics. Of course, I'm a diehard Celtics fan. I watched this full game. Jason Tatum, 12 points, 5 rebounds, 3 assists in 40 minutes. It was honestly embarrassing. I have 3 stats that I want to tell you guys from this game when I was doing my research for this video. Tatum is shooting the lowest numbers of his career, that being effective 3-point percentage, or effective field goal percentage, 3-point percentage, and 2-point percentage. And LaMelo went crazy last night, by the way, for my Hornets fans. And then Jaylen Brown is shooting the worst percentage since his rookie year. And with 3-point shooters, like a 3-point shooter that shoots more than 6 attempts a game. So like if you're not a frequent 3-point shooter in the league, they don't count this stat. But if you shoot more than 6 a game, Jason Tatum has the worst percentage in the whole entire league. Then we go to Blazers Heat. The only thing I was thinking about this was how Bam Adebayo is back. Jimmy Butler played horrible. He had like 5 points in 20 minutes. Um, the Heat need to re-sign Kyle Guy as well. He came in on that 10-day contract. They gave him another 10-day. He's been going crazy this whole time, so they need to definitely assign him. To me, Hero looks like an all-star. I've been saying that all year. He's definitely front runner and 6 man of the year. His scoring off the bench has been absolutely insane. And then the last thing I was watching when I was watching this game is like the Heat develop their players ridiculously. Like, by the way, I'm not reading a script or anything. Like, we're just talking, and I hope you guys are like following me because we're going pretty fast. But like, what I'm saying is, the Heat develop their players so fast and so well. Like Yurt 7, he has had like 15 rebounds in 10 games in a row. Cody Martin last night, he had a 30-point game. Max Strus is starting over Duncan Robinson because Robinson has been playing bad, you know? So now we're going to go to Timberwolves Hawks. Um, Anthony Edwards got ejected, I believe, last night. D'Lo went crazy. I think he had 31, 10, and 6. But then Trae Young went even crazier and had like 37, 14, and 8. So this Hawks team is still dangerous. A lot of people have Gallinari on the trading block. To me personally, I don't trade Gallinari because he's so good scoring off the bench. Herter's been up and down this whole year. A lot of people are saying they should go get Ben Simmons or D'Angelo Russell or something like that. But I like this Hawks team, how it's constructed. I think they're a good top four team in the East. And then Cavaliers, Bulls. Markkanen has been balling this whole year, and he punished his team last night. He had, what, 28, 30 points. DeRozan won this game, but so did Kyrie, so the Bulls and the Nets are still tied for the first seed. Zach LaVine's out, Lonzo Ball's out. So my question for this game when I was watching is, um, can DeRozan keep the Bulls afloat by himself? Because no Lonzo and LaVine really hurts them. Grizzlies Bucks, Giannis is just unfair, 33, 15, and 7. And then I was thinking when I was watching this, like, Ja Morant is low-key just unfair too, 33, 14, and 8. I personally have been saying this all year. I think the Bucks will repeat, and the reason why the Bucks won this game is because Middleton also had 28 points, and Bobby Portis also had 20 points, and Pat Connaughton also had 50. So Ja didn't really have a lot of help last night. He had like two pretty. They weren't really poster dunks, but he got up pretty high. This game was super close until the fourth quarter, and then the Bucks just went on a run. But I think the difference between this Bucks and this Grizzlies team is like Giannis is so superior, and so is Ja Morant. But then like Middleton is right here, and he's pretty like he's not close to Giannis, but as far as like scoring, he helps out a lot. And then like Jaren Jackson and like their second guy is a little bit lower than that. So I think that the Grizzlies this offseason are like attending a lot of bids. Like anybody who picks up the phone, if I'm a Grizzlies, like if I'm the GM, I'm like, okay, yeah, I like that. Like I don't know if you make a pull right now, but I think you're gonna go looking for another star because that's what I would do. Um, Raptors Mavericks, Luka went crazy. I want to say he had 41, 14, and 7 last night. It was a really close game towards the end. It was a 2 point game, and then they made the free throws. The one thing I was watching when I watched this game, I was like, um, I only saw two players coming off the bench. It was Boucher and one other. And I was thinking, like, why do they only have two players coming off the bench? They have some good scoring off their bench. I didn't understand why, and then I looked it up, and they only have 7 players active. So I was thinking maybe the Raptors need to go back to Tampa Bay where they were playing last year or New York because a lot of the COVID protocol in Canada is pretty crazy. So, like you can't even go into Canada unless you're vaccinated and all this stuff. So I'm pretty sure that if the Raptors want to like try to get into that play-in or playoff spot, I think that they should probably move out of Toronto because Toronto's not even allowing fans or anything. Thunder Spurs, I will admit this is the one game I didn't watch, so I can't talk about it. I heard Shea played good and I heard DeJounte Murray went crazy, but I didn't watch the game. By the way, I watched almost all these full games. I don't like to watch highlights. A lot of times I like to just click and watch highlights from certain players, but highlights kind of takes away from the game because you don't get to get the full experience. Rockets Jazz, no Donovan Mitchell. Eric Gordon went crazy. That game was pretty interesting. It was like late into the fourth quarter. I enjoyed watching that. Pistons Kings. Um, I think Terrence Davis had like 38 points. I knew he was a good scorer, but I didn't know he was like that. Davion Mitchell continues to just be a pest on defense. De'Aaron Fox had like 25. This game was actually extremely entertaining. Pistons won in a thriller. I think Bay had 30 and Kelly Olynyk had like 25. Me, for if I'm a Pistons fan, like you just gotta know like winning games like this is pretty fun. But right now we're just in the rebuild process. Like we're doing everything that we can just to rebuild our team. Clippers Nuggets. This is the game I wanted to talk about the most out of anything. Jokic had a 50, 14, and 10. I know Embiid's, and I've been saying this all year long, and I will continue to say this. Jokic is my MVP right now, and Jokic will be my MVP. He's the only reason why the Denver Nuggets are even somewhat relevant. They're in the 6th seed right now, 23 and 20. Without that, I don't even know where they would be. That was probably one of the most ridiculous games I can remember in Jokic's career. Like, to have 50 points from Embiid is extremely impressive, but then to have a 50-point triple-double is ridiculous. Reggie Jackson played great. I think he had like 28. But Jokic was just unstoppable. And Aaron Gordon played great too. He had 25 points. And not besides the points, Aaron Gordon is like a 6'8" guy, but he can guard any interior and wing defender, which is like ridiculous. He's like Jeremy Grant. How Jeremy Grant was for them 2 years, that's how he is now. Pistons also need to move on from Jeremy Grant. It's crazy to me that the Sixers didn't accept that trade. They were offering Sadiq Bey, Olynyk, and like one other player. Like I would have definitely taken that trade. Last but not least, Lakers Pacers. LeBron cannot do it all. LeBron cannot do it all. 30, 12, and 7 for LeBron. And he's what, 37, 38 years old right now. Last night, Westbrook had 4 3-pointers that he made, and he only had 14 points. So for 14 of his points were 4 3. He hit 4 3-pointers, and it was honestly extremely embarrassing. They were leaving him wide open from the 3-point line. He would catch at the top of the key, and there would not be a defender in the paint. They were just doubling the whole entire night. LeBron was getting sent double teams. Malik Monk was getting sent double teams. And this is the craziest storyline for me when I was watching the game, because after the Nuggets game, I was like, oh, I got to stay up and watch the Lakers game, because they were like, the Nuggets game went long. It was crazy because Westbrook got benched in the last 5 minutes of the fourth quarter. He didn't play the whole. Frank Vogel took him out and didn't play him the whole last 5 minutes of the fourth quarter, and they still lost. But they almost came back and won. And Lakers were ahead. They blew a 14-point lead in the first half. So me personally, Westbrook isn't the problem, like I've been saying all year. He's the only inactivity is inactivity, and that's Anthony Davis. But at the same time, Westbrook needs to be able to make shots. He's the worst. This is the worst statistical field goal percentage for anyone in NBA history that plays over 30 minutes, which is absolutely just like absurd. But if you look at the box score, like Westbrook had 14 in 27 minutes. Like that's unexcusable. Anyway, crazy night in hoops. I had a lot I wanted to talk to. If you guys like these videos, if you guys like what I'm doing here and just recapping every night, we can recap every single night and I can talk to you guys. I know it's going to be fast paced. Maybe if you want, I can go into deeper detail. We can do like a 30-minute video or something like that. But anyway, as always, it's your boy Young Kurd. I love y'all. Appreciate it. Hit that like, sub, and follow.